This one here is basically, I'll find the hardest one I can find here, right? Number 8 is a bargain basement simultaneous equation. You have two numbers, and these two numbers make an equation. Okay? Now the numbers, what I mean is the letters X represents a number and the letter Y represents a number. To complete these questions, you need to find out both. Now, what you need to do is you need to decide on a letter to get rid of. What letter would you like me to get rid of? X, right? We've decided on X, okay? Once you've decided on one of them, you look at the numbers that come in front of the X's, okay? And you go, okay, 2 and 3. Once again, it's the lowest common divisor. What number will divide into both of them? 6. So 2, 4, 6, 3 and 6. So the answer is 6. If you change these to 6's, you're going to do well. How do you change them into 6's? Multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 2. You just do the mirror and multiply them by each other. Same thing. That will always work as well. Okay? So then what we're going to get is 6x minus 15y equals 33. And then we're going to get 6x plus 4y equals 14. Okay? Now you're looking at this and we're basically saying, okay, what happens when we add them down now, Paddy? What happens when we add them down?
Well,
what do we get when we add them downwards?
For the y is the x's. We cut the x's off.
Well, we don't, because 6x plus 6x is 12x. So I haven't finished it quite right yet. And what's minus 15 plus 4?
Is that 4y?
4y, yes.
That would be minus 11.
Minus 11y, and that would be 47. Now that's not correct. What's always happened in simultaneous equations when you've done them in the past? One of the letters will disappear, and that hasn't happened. Can anybody explain why it didn't happen? Sam?
You didn't multiply by minus 2.
I didn't multiply by minus 2 in the first place. But there's a way of fixing that. Multiply by minus 1.
Yes.
And then you come across and you go minus 6 minus 4y minus 14. Now, can anybody explain why I'm allowed to do that? So, for example, I'm going to give you a really easy equation. 4 plus 3 equals 7. Everybody agrees with that, yeah? What happens if I multiply both sides by minus 1?
Minus 4 minus
3 equals minus 7. Is it still balanced?
Yes.
So if it's still balanced, you're allowed to do it. And you know, I only have to do it to one of them. I don't have to do the same thing to both equations. Okay? So any equation on its own, you can do what you want to it, provided it stays balanced. Okay? So what happens now? 6x minus 6x? Minus 15y minus 4y? And then 3 minus 14? 19, okay? 3 minus 14 is 19. 19 divided by minus 19. And what do we get? Minus 1. Now guys, you've got 8 out of 10 there. Why haven't we got 10 out of 10?
We have to get the x.
Find x. Now how do you find out what x is, Paddy?
Right. Yeah, minus 1.
And, yeah.
I'll use the top one.
You want to use the top one?
Yeah.
Okay, so Paddy's going to use the top one. The top equation is 2x minus 5y equals 11. And
so the minus 1 where the y is.
Okay, so 2x minus 5 times minus 1 equals 11. Now you can check that on your calculator what minus 5 minus 1 is.
You just plus 5 there.
It is going to be just plus 5, but sometimes if you have time in an exam, you might as well make it a dead cert. So plus 5, okay? So 2x plus 5 equals 11.
And you have 2x equals 11 minus 5.
2x equals 11 minus 5.
2x equals 6.
Equals 6.
X
Yeah.
equals 3.
X. 6 divided by 2, giving us 3. Right?
Yeah.
So that's no bother whatsoever there is. So, guys, do you feel comfortable on those? What we can see here, guys, is that number 15 has a fair amount of disguise on it, okay? So, if you look at number 15, sorry, I'll just bring it over here for a second, make it larger. Okay, there's number 15 there. Now, with number 15, you can see that it doesn't look like a normal simultaneous equation, does it? It doesn't look anything like something like this. Now what we need to do is we need to make it look like this. Okay, can anybody tell me what would be a good way of starting to make them look like each other? David?
Do a 3x.
Exactly, multiply out.
Yeah, multiply.
3x plus 3y, yeah.
And then plus 2y plus 2x.
2y minus 2x, it's alright, just be careful with the minus, equals 4. Now, 3x interacts with the
2x.
minus 2x,
1x.
1x, and then 3y plus 2y
Plus 5y.
equals 4. It now looks like a simultaneous equation. That's only the first one, equation A. What about equation B? Okay, we'll go for Nick. What about this one here?
Goes to x.
Yeah,
Minus 4.
yeah,
Equals 3y.
yeah.
Minus 9.
Okay, now how do I make it look like this one here?
You put all the you put all the non-numbers together.
So the x's and y's go to the left and the numbers go to the right.
Yeah.
So we're going to end up with 2x, and when the 3y goes over the other side,
3y
minus 3y, and
plus 4
yeah,
minus 9.
and plus 4 minus 9, anybody? Minus 5, okay? And now all of a sudden, you're back where you began with something that's quite easy. Now, which letter would you like to get rid of this time? Now, I think the way I always make my choice is I always make my choice on is one of them positive and one of them negative. See the way the x's are both positive?
Yeah.
We can do that, but we know we have to multiply by a minus number. But the y is positive and then there's a negative one, which makes it a bit easier actually. So what is the lowest common denominator between 5 and 3? 15. So 5, 10, 15, and then you'd go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and there are your two 15s right there. Okay? So
Is it easier to do a minus with a plus?
just because you don't have to multiply by a minus number. Remember the last one wouldn't cancel out until we multiply by minus 1. Okay? So what do we multiply the top one by, David?
3
3 and the bottom one?
5
Okay, and now multiply for 3 by me. For me.
5
3x, yeah.
plus 15
Y, yeah.
plus 12
Plus 12, yeah. After that,
10x
10x, yeah.
15 y
Minus 15y, yeah.
equals minus 25.
Minus 25. Add them directly downwards.
13x
13x equals,
y equals
cancel. 12 minus 25.
13. Minus 13.
Yeah. So it's always that minus sign you gotta keep an eye on, alright? Minus 13. Then Mick, to finish that off.
Mick or Nick?
Mick.
X equals 1. X equals minus 1.
Minus 13, so x equals minus 1. Lads, it's quite impressive, it's good. Okay, it's very strong start. No.
Sir, do you know what SPHE is PE?
Now, guys, we still haven't found out the y value. So, would you like to use A or B to find the y value?
Yeah.
A. So, A is x plus 5y equals 4. Replace x with minus 1. Bring the minus 1 over to your side. What goes over to your side?
Change this sign.
5y equals 5. Y equals 1. Alright guys, so full marks there. Now you actually be quite surprised that simultaneous equations, a lot of the time they don't get full marks, and like you might get one exactly like that, worth like 10 marks, and they often don't come out right, so right now you're doing well. Okay, so I'm going to rub this out, and the most difficult type of simultaneous equation they'll give you is one that has a fraction in it. So what they're really trying to do is so we've done 8 and 15, so what they're really trying to do is they're trying to confuse you by using fractions, okay? So we can do, I recommend probably doing this, number 20 is a difficult one. So 8, 15 and 20 is what I've done in class today, okay? So with number 20, here's what you have to do. We'll start off with 20 part A. Does anybody remember would anybody know how to do the first equation in number 20? It's like the last question we did.
2x minus 10.
2x minus 10, well done Connor. And then what happens to the 3y?
Do you multiply that by 2 as well?
Sorry?
Do you multiply?
The 3y by 2?
Yeah.
No, because see the equal sign?
Yeah.
It's like a block, so it's only 2 multiplied by the x minus 5.
So it equals 3y.
Yeah, and then move the 3y over,
Move 10 over.
and what you get?
Yeah, the
2x
2x
minus 3
3y.
equals plus
Plus 10. Perfect. Now guys, this second part is exactly like what we were dealing with earlier. We have a 5 and a 2. What's the lowest common denominator?
10.
10. Change everything to tens. So multiply the top one by 2, bottom one by 2, top one by,
5.
bottom one by 5, and then on this side, 10. So it's 1 is technically 1 over 1, and then we have to multiply both of them by 10. What is 10 divided by 10?
1.
1. So it's alright, a lot of people say that. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So you haven't actually changed the value of the number 1. You just gave it a makeover basically. Now, 2 times 2x,
4x,
4x, and then 2 times 1,
2,
5 times x,
5x,
5 times y.
5y,
Okay, all over
10.
10, and that equals 10 over 10. Now those 10s,
Cross out.
get rid of them. Okay. Now, all of a sudden, what interacts with what? So the 4x interacts with the 5x, 5y stays where it is,
Plus 2.
and then the 2 goes over to your side, and then 8. Okay, so there's my first equation. Excuse me. Whoa. There's my first equation, and my second equation is 2x minus 3y equals 10. Okay guys, what ones would you like me to get rid of?
the y.
Get rid of the y's, okay? Sean, what do I multiply the top one by to get rid of the y's?
3.
Exactly, and the bottom one? 5. 3 by 29, 3 by 9?
27.
27x, 3 by 5,
15.
and 3 by 8.
24.
Right, 5 by 2, and x 5 by minus 3,
Minus 15.
and then 5 by 10, 50, okay? Quite easy. And then 37x, when you add it downwards, no y's,
Equals 74.
74, right? And x equals,
74 divided by 37.
which is 2. Okay, x equals 2. Once again, upon finding 2, we're going to find out the y value is. We'll place it into this equation here. And then 9 times 2, 18 plus 5y equals 8. And then,
2 again.
and 8 minus 18,
Minus
10.
and then minus 10, then y is
Minus 2.
minus 2. So 2 and minus 2. Okay, so that was 18, 8, 15 and 20. Okay, so we can see the sort of time frame for 3 questions